Is there a reason why we cannot have a subdivision ordinance for our ETJ that matches our residential ordinances for the city? And that's a more stringent than the county, I understand, but is it possible to do that? If it's not, we need to change our subdivision ordinance to at least match the county. But I would like to see a subdivision ordinance in the ETJ that matches our city stuff. Is that possible?
We can certainly evaluate requiring certain lot frontage or size, not based on zoning practice or density, but for other engineering related reasons that tie back to the subdivision ordinance, similar to what Grayson County just considered. So that's certainly something that the city staff can evaluate and bring back before the commission and the council.
Have to fall under the county's regulations also, or are they, if they're in the ETJ, does the county regulations not make any difference?
When the city receives a subdivision plat and engineering plans for property within the ETJ, the city reviews it such that it meets our standards. We also provide it to the county engineer so that they can review it to determine it meets their standards. In many respects, the city standards are more stringent than the county's, and so inherently, by and large, when the subdivision meets the city standards, it meets the county standards as well. And I would turn to Len if he has any additional information to provide.
So the 60-foot rule would be in effect in our ETJ?
I would say that, yes, currently, if there's a plat that we received following this county's adoption of that rule, then we would honor the county's requirement. Several of the plats on your agenda this evening were submitted and approved and are valid, and that predate the county's adoption. So they're vested with the lot sizes that are presented on the plats you have before you.
And what's the county's depth?
I don't know the county's depth, sir.
The county only has a frontage and an area regulation requirement. They don't have a depth.
So they can still say 60 foot by 60 foot and...
No, the 60 by 60 wouldn't meet the area.
It
wouldn't meet the area regulation.
Numerous times, hundreds of times, they don't like these little bitty lots. Okay, that's a given. Okay, outside the city, we don't have a lot of jurisdiction, quote unquote, and the citizens don't really understand that. They just know that these people in all these little subdivisions that have these smaller lots outside the city are coming in and using all our city services. Okay, that's affecting our infrastructure and everything else. Now, having said that, I've already stated that I'd like to see somehow that we can mirror at minimum the county setup. But what I would prefer to do was have anything in our ETJ that cannot be less than half an acre. I'd like to see if there's a way we can do that. What I'd like to do is to force people or developers to, if they don't want to do a half acre or acre lots, to come to the city and annex property around the city, then they fall into the city's jurisdiction. Does that make sense?
Kind of applicable in different situations. Sure. There's a 60-foot wide, and they have their own engineering basis for that. And I don't have if it has to do with length of infrastructure or what. Then there's another area requirement for septic systems. So don't combine the two.
So in a MUD, so in the county, in the future, any plat or any lot that anybody wants to build in the ETJ outside of the city limits, regardless of whose city it is, if it's in Grayson County, the minimum frontage is going to be 60 feet.
But if it needs a septic, it has to be a half acre.
That's right. So the county, so there is no minimum on the depth. That's what you're saying. So a MUD could come in and say, we're going to do 60 by 60s.
I'd like to have the county engineer.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the question because to me, I find that, I mean, yeah, 60 sounds very appetizing compared to what we're getting jammed down our throats now. But 60 by 60 is not.
I will just simply state that in acknowledgement of the discussions that took place, that at the next Planning and Zoning Commission, we'll be prepared to present you with information related to the county's relatively new subdivision ordinance and
how it impacts.
Through your decisions tonight, we'll be on the streets in the next 30 days. Alex has received his submittals for next month's ETJs, and we're gonna surpass that with another 600 lots. So buckle up. We got more coming, so. We got two phases on Mantua, and then we have the third phase at Thompson Farms, and then we have a small revision to River Ranch, which is south of the high school right now. Last number I had was as of March 1st, of the 800 lots we released for construction back since September, 251 lots have started construction. So we've gone through about a third of the inventory that we had. Thus, so yeah, it's accelerating right now. So we're doing that. And then, you know, the couple others that you did approve on the consent agenda are rural lots, that 1 acres, that we'll continue to keep those going too. I think there's 3 of them, so it's not slowing down.
We appreciate city staff and their efforts. And at this time, having completed the items on the agenda, I declare this meeting adjourned at 6:52.